Om Kratunda Mahakaya
Vekratundamahakaya
Suryakoti Samaprabha
Suryakotisamabhrapa Nirvighనం
Nirvignam
kuru me
Kurume
deva
Deva
Sarvakaryeshu
Sarvakaryeshu
sarvada
Sarvada Saraswati
Saraswati
Namastubhyam
namastubhyam Varade
Varade Kamarupini
kamarupini
Vidyarambham
Vidyarambam karishyami
Karishyami Siddhir
Siddhir
Bhavatu
me
Me
sada
Sada Gurur
Guru Brahma
Brahma Gurur
Guru
Vishnu
Vishnu
Gurur
Guru Deva
Devo
Maheshwaraha
Maheshwaraha Guru
Guru
Sakshat
Sakshat Param
Param
Brahma
Brahma Tasmai
Tasmai Shri
Shri
Gurave
Gurave
Namaha
Namaha Om
Om Sahana
Sahana
Bhavatu
Bhavatu
Sahano
Sahanau
Bhunaktu
Bhunaktu
Saha Viryam
Sahaviryam
Karavavakai
Karavavakai
Tejasvinavadhetamastu
Tejasvinavadhetamastu
Ma
ma
Vidyavahe
vidyavahe.
Om
Om
Shanti
Shanta
Shanti
Shanta
Shanti
Shanti. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Atadvitiyodhyayah.
अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Now the shloka number 39. From the next shloka onwards, Karma Yoga, this is going to be the topic. So here Bhagavan concludes the topic of Sankhya, that is Jnanam, as well as answering to Arjuna's his arguments, what he put forth in the first chapter. Arjuna, he said the papam will come if we fight the war. He presented his views, he presented his contention based on the Shastram, Dharma Shastra, and he said that papam will be the result if we engage in this yuddha, because there will be destruction of lives, and therefore kula dharmaha nashanti. Then the Stri also, kula Stri will be subject to corruption, and therefore there will be varna sankaraha, confusion in the society, and because there will be no one to transfer the value dharma, to protect dharma, therefore there will be complete disorder, chaos, and also because of that, not only us, even the forefathers, they also, the ancestors, Pitras, they also will suffer, because nobody will be offering, nobody will be will be following values, and nobody will be offering the Pitra Pinda the karma, they will not do. Therefore, ancestors, the forefathers also will suffer in the higher loka. Iti, lot of reasons he gave. So that all these reasons were answered in the shloka from 31 to 38. Simply saying that this is the right thing to do. Waging war is the right thing to do. By that only you can establish dharma, and by the war you will not incur papam. In fact, you gain punyam. Even if you lose the war, you will go to Swarga Loka. If you win, you conquer. If you win, if you conquer them, you will rule the entire world. Rajyam will be with you. If you are if you lose, if you are conquered, then also there is no loss. Swarga Dwaram Apavratam. You will have direct entry to Swarga Loka. So anyway, it is a win-win situation only for you. And as a Kshatriya, this war which has come upon is something is really a fortunate thing. Iti, Bhagavan Krishna is just in few shlokas, the answer to all the contentions, all the views what Arjuna had presented in the first chapter. Now After presenting all these things, now Jnana Yoga, after Jnana, the Karma Yoga is going to be started from the next shloka. Therefore, this is a transition shloka 39. Therefore, Bhagavan himself says, let us read the shloka. Yesha te bhigita sankhye
एष ते विहिता सङ्ख्ये
buddhir yoge tvimam shrinu
बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु
buddhya yukto yaya partha
बुद्ध्या युक्ता यया पार्थ
karma bandham prahasyasi.
कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि
Yesha strilinga. Yesha ete etaha. Te to you. Yesha te to you. Abhigita. Ukta ityartaha. Abhigita. Told by whom? By me. Abhigita what? Yesha sankye buddhihi. Sankye. Sankye in knowledge. Buddhihi. Buddhihi is jnanam. Sankhya buddhihi. Abhigita. That is the buddhi, the knowledge, jnanam, with reference to Sankhya. Sankhya means Atma Jnanam, Atma, ityartaha. With regard to Atma, with regard to Atma Jnanam, with regard to Atma Jnanam, the Jnanam with regard to Atma Jnanam, the knowledge with regard to Atma Jnanam, Abhigita, Ukta, Maya, told by me. So Buddhihi means knowledge here, Jnanam. Jnanam with regard to what? Jnanam must have a subject matter. Subject matter is Sankhya, self-knowledge, Atma Jnana. So that has been Uttam, told by me. To Imam, now Imam Yoge Shunu. Now you listen to this. What? Yoga with reference to yoga, that is yoga is Karma Yoga. Even though karma is not there, we have to understand this is Karma Yoga. Because of the following shlokas, we know the yoga what is going to talk is Karma Yoga. The yoga what he talked or he presented was Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Buddhi. Now yoga, Sankhya Buddhi, Yoga Buddhi. So therefore now you listen to yoga. Buddhya yuktaha yahya partha. Endowed with this buddhi, knowledge. What will happen? Endowed with this jnanam, buddhya yuktaha, the one who is endowed with this knowledge of yoga, buddhya yuktaha, endowed with this buddhi, endowed with this knowledge. What happens to him? Karma bandham prahasasi. He will be free from karma bandha. Bandha, the bondage due to karma. So he will be free from the bondage of karma. He will be free from karma. Therefore, to be free from karma, if you want to be free, if you want to get freedom from doing, you want to be free from karma, like Arjuna here, he doesn't want to fight. Want to be free from waging this war. If you want, then fight. Then do the karma. That is the only way. Want to be free from karma, then do karma. Karma yoga. Karma is karma yoga. As a yoga, you do, by which you will be free from karma. By not giving up, you will not become free from karma. By doing only, you will become free from karma. Then this shloka also. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Then so far we have been saying jnanam only. By jnanam only, karma bandha, the bondage will go. Now you say karma. By doing karma, it will go. Means karma gives the necessary preparation, necessary qualifications. So by which the person gets prepared for receiving jnanam, and therefore by jnanam, he becomes free from karma, he becomes free from samsara. That is how to be interpreted. Endowed with this knowledge of yoga, you will become free from karma means. How can this will make a person free from karma? By doing karma yoga, you develop adhikaritvam, you develop the the infrastructure required for receiving the jnanam, the infrastructure is preparation, preparing the mind. Mind requires certain conditions. Mind requires certain preparations. The mind will be ready, will get ready. Only for the mind which is prepared, this jnanam will be palitam. The jnanam will be fruitful. Otherwise, this jnanam will just be an academic knowledge. Like the many people are there, they just blabber this about this yogas and all. So all this will be just an academic knowledge that will not give any result. So therefore, karma bandham prahasasi, by this yoga, you will be free from karma. So karma bandham prahasyasi. You will get rid of this karma. So get rid of this karma, therefore you do karma. Karma is karma yoga. Karma yoga takes to jnana yoga, and jnana yoga, by jnana yoga you get jnanam, and jnanat kaivalyam muktihi mokshaha iti. That is the scheme of thing. That is how it is. The jnanam only moksha is. So such statements are the karma bandham prahasasi buddhi yogena buddhya yuktaha. Then we have to interpret all these things properly. If this is so, then the previous portion is not required. If karma alone gives moksha, then why should we talk about Sankhya? Not required. Sankhya talked about because it is a direct means for moksha. Then for the unprepared, like Arjuna, and like Arjuna, like all of us, we also like Arjuna. For therefore, karma yoga is recommended. Karma yoga gives the necessary preparedness to arrive at jnana yoga, which consists of guru upasadanam, going to the guru, listening to the shastram, and doing therefore doing shavanam, listening, mananam, nididhyasanam, by which jnanam is gained, jnana nishta is obtained, and by which moksha. That is the krama, that is the order. Oh, the reason for teaching karma yoga is Arjuna, Arjuna being a very active person, highly rajasic, rajas. He has got a lot of energy. He's rajasic, active person, and to that too, he's a kshatriya. He waited for this war and obtained a lot of shastras and astras. Therefore, suddenly he cannot become sattvika and go to jnana yoga. It requires slow, steady change, slow and steady change. Therefore, having taught jnanam is a direct cause for moksha. As a means for that, as a means for jnana yoga, Bhagavan teaches karma yoga for Arjuna and for people like Arjuna. That is for all of us. So that by which one can be ready, one can get ready. That is the idea. If Arjuna is already ready, then Bhagavan need not teach karma yoga. Karma yoga need not teach. With the 30th shloka itself, Gita is over. Since Bhagavan knows Arjuna very well, therefore, having taught the Jnana Yoga, now he shifts the topic to Karma Yoga. And that is why even in the following chapters, Arjuna has this doubt. You praise Jnana Yoga and you're asking me to do karma. Why? This question he keeps on repeating in so many forms, so many ways. You only use a different words, but all mean the same thing. The next chapter, third chapter, fifth chapter, and even 18th chapter also, the same question is put in some other way, some other words. But the idea is same. This is to clearly impregnate in our mind that karma yoga is important. Without karma yoga, one will not get the necessary mental infrastructure to get into jnana yoga. That is the idea. Therefore, now karma yoga topic starts. Therefore, there is no doubt with regard to jnanam, that with regard to moksha, that jnanam is the only means. Karma cannot give moksha directly. Karma through jnanam only. Therefore, paramparaya karanam bhavati. So therefore here Bhagavan Krishna says, this wisdom with reference to self-knowledge has been so far told to you. Now listen to the wisdom of yoga. Now yogam to imam shrunu buddhya yuktaha yaya partha. Endowed with this buddhi. What buddhi? Yoga buddhi. Endowed this with this yoga buddhi, the commitment to yoga buddhi, you will be free from action, karma bandham, tarhasyasi. Endowed with yoga buddhi. Previously Sankhya buddhi. For Sankhya buddhi, you required yoga buddhi. Yoga buddhi only takes you or only elevates you to enjoy Sankhya buddhi. So it's a process. So Sankhya buddhi, some karma from yoga buddhi to Sankhya buddhi. That is a krama. Yoga buddhi is called karma yoga. Sankhya buddhi is called jnana yoga. So karma yoga, by karma yoga, you get elevated to follow jnana yoga. Jnana yogena jnana nishta. That is jnana moksha iti. That is the order, karma sequence. In verses 11 through 30 of this chapter, the knowledge taught by Krishna to Arjuna is Sankhya, meaning Brahma, or the knowledge of Brahma, the nature of the reality of Atma, whereas from the shloka 31 to 38 are purely contextual. Purely contextual. That is from the Dharma standpoint, from the individual standpoint, the Arjuna being a Kshatriya. So is from his standpoint also, he has got such a glories. So if he refrains from the war, what will happen to all these kirti glories? So all contextual. And having nothing to do with the nature of Atma. So 31, 38, it's contextual. These 8 verses are therefore unconnected to the topic under discussion. Unconnected. So Sankhya and Karma are the topic, and these 8 topics are contextual, therefore not connected to the topic under discussion, and they are not referred to in the present verse as a knowledge given thus far. They can however be brought under yoga or dharma. Yes, they can be, those shlokas can be brought under dharma, following dharma. Dharma should not be given up. Dharma is Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra also has to be properly understood. Otherwise, it will be devil quoting the Shastram. It will be misunderstood, as Arjuna had that misunderstanding. So therefore, Bhagavan clearly presented even the Dharma in this shloka 31 to 38. That is not the topic here. Topic is one is Sankhya and now it is Yoga. Although not Sankhya Shastra, they are contextual in the flow, representing a particular argument from the standpoint of one's Dharma alone, entailing simply worldly reasoning. The argument presented is not from the standpoint of Paramatma. It relates only to what is to be done at a given time. That is 31 to 38. In verse 11 through 16 of this chapter, Bhagavan Krishna introduced a topic under discussion, that is the nature of Atma, and then went on to explain it in depth. Because the subject matter is Sankhya, the knowledge of Brahma, therefore the chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya alone is not discussed here. Other topics are also mentioned. For instance, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga, as we are about to see. Sankhya, however, is definitely the predominant topic throughout the chapter. Therefore, this chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. It is unlikely that Vyasa himself actually gave the Gita chapters the titles. They are probably added by others to indicate the central topic of each chapter. In all the chapters, the topics indicated by the titles are discussed along with other topics. In fact, although the 12th chapter is called Bhakti Yoga, there is even more extensive discussion on this topic, Bhakti, in the 11th chapter, where Arjuna praised Lord Krishna. But 11th chapter is called Vishwarupa Darshana, whereas this 12th chapter is called Bhakti Yoga. Similarly, in the chapter called Dhyana Yoga, 36th chapter, there are only a few verses about meditation, Dhyana itself. Up to the point we have reached in this chapter, Sankhya has been taught, and this particular verse is a provisional conclusion of the topic. For those who study Vedanta Shastra, it is very important to know why Krishna concluded the topic here as he did. The reason is that there are 2 Shastras within the Gita Shastra. Gita itself is a Shastra, Moksha Shastra. Within the Shastra, there are 2 Shastras. As Vedas, it divided into 2, Veda Purva, Veda Bhaga. Similarly, Gita Shastram also has two Shastram. Veda has got Karma Shastram, Jnana Shastram. Similarly, Gita also has Karma Shastra and the Moksha Shastra, Jnana Shastram. Moksha Shastra is Vedanta, and the Gita can be considered a Moksha Shastram. Karma Shastra is Karma Kanda, which discusses the various rituals, karmas or means, sadhanas, to gain various ends, sadhyas. Karma Kanda is also Veda, but karma is its subject matter. The subject matter of Moksha Shastra is knowledge, jnanam. Therefore, the subject matter of both the kandas are different. Therefore, it is looked upon as Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, two Shastram. Similarly, Gita also we have Karma Shastram. Within Gita, we have Karma Shastram and Moksha Shastram. What is the difference between Karma Yoga and Sankhya Yoga? Because Karma Shastram and Moksha also talked about. Therefore, need to know what is Karma Yoga and what is Sankhya Yoga. Moksha Shastra can be viewed from two standpoints with reference to two possible lifestyles. One lifestyle, Karma Yoga, characterized by Karma Yoga, other one characterized by Sankhya or Sannyasa. Both are meant for moksha alone. This is discussed in detail in the third chapter. Because the difference between karma and karma yoga must be clearly understood, Krishna talked about it. Doing karma for the sake of self-purification, Atma Shuddhi, is called karma yoga. Antakarna Shuddhi, Atma Shuddhi is Antakarna Shuddhi. Atma need not be purified. Atma is ever pure. Antakarna Shuddhi. That's the word Atma is used sometimes to refer to Atma, Sachidananda Atma, or sometimes Antakarnam or the body, or sometimes even the reflexive pronoun. So, Sangam Tyakta Atma Shuddhi. In Gita himself, Bhagavan says Atma Shuddhi. Atma Shuddhi means Antakarna Shuddhi. So, doing karma for the sake of self purification. Self here is Antakarna Shuddhi. Atma Shuddhi, Antakarna Shuddhi. It's called Karma Yoga. It indicates that the person has discrimination, Viveka, and knows that he or she wants moksha. Because to gain moksha, one requires a certain mind. Viveka, Vairagya, Mokshuttam, all these things are required. Without that mindset, mental setup, the person cannot gain jnanam and therefore moksha, not possible. Therefore, and to gain that mind, one performs actions, karmas with a certain attitude. That attitude converts into yoga. Merely doing karma is not yoga. Karma cannot become yoga by just doing it. It matters. What matters is the attitude. For example, there is a set of prayers called Nitya Karmas that are to be done daily. One of these prayers is called Sandhya Vandana. Vandana means salutation or prayer. And Sandhya refers to the 3 times of a day that the prayer is to be performed. In the morning as the sun rises, at noon, and in the evening as the sun sets. The literal meaning of Sandhya is a time when the two periods of time meet. For example, it indicates a time when the day has not yet begun because the sun has not risen, but the night has already rolled away. Similarly, yet another Sandhya is when the sun has already set, but the night has not yet come. The third Sandhya is in the midday, exactly at noon, neither forenoon nor afternoon. These Nitya Karmas can be done for the sake of some result later or for the sake of purifying the mind, Antakarna Shuddhi. Why would anyone want Antakarna Shuddhi? Because the mind, Antakaranam, is necessary for gaining self-knowledge, Atma Jnanam. Jnanam is only through the mind. Without mind, Jnanam is not possible. So Jnanam is the form of thought, Vritti. Vritti is in the mind only. Therefore, karma is performed as an indirect means for moksha to prepare the mind for gaining the self-knowledge. When the prayer is done for Antakarana Shuddhi, the person has no other result in mind. He or she only asks that the Lord be pleased with the karma and bless him or her with a purified mind. Karma may be performed out of joy or out of a concept of duty or as a prayer. When it is performed as a prayer for the sake of Antakarana Shuddhi and moksha, it becomes a yoga, karma yoga. A number of topics come under karma yoga, including prayer, devotion, samadhi, and ashtanga yoga for the sake of samadhi, all of which are stated in Shankaracharya's Bhashya to this verse. The verse itself reveals that there is a division or difference between the two subject matters, Sankhya and Karma Yoga. If this division is not clear, the entire Gita will appear to be full of contradictions, and the listener will be confused. Whereas if the division is clear, understanding is possible. Therefore, there are many confused people there in the world misinterpreting Gita because they don't understand this division clearly, and therefore they say karma, by karma yoga alone, by our karma yoga, different yoga, by following different yoga, one gets moksha. So all these contradictions. If this vision is not clear, then Gita, the shlokas of the Gita will be wrongly interpreted. Backed up by the vision, if the shlokas are read, then there will be no contradictions. Therefore, the listener will know what it is meant when it is said that for the sannyasis there is only jnana yoga, and for the others who are also seekers, karma yoga is a means for gaining moksha. So here we have to understand clearly sannyasis, jnana yoga, then karma yoga for others, grastas, householders, others. Karma yoga is a means. It means they have got different means for moksha. No, even for the grastashrami, householders and others, karma yoga takes them to jnana yoga and jnana yoga to moksha. Sannyasis don't have karma, therefore they have a particular lifestyle. Therefore, they, at the exclusion of karma, they follow jnana yoga. Therefore, jnana yogena moksha. Whereas the other ashramis, they do karma yoga for gaining chitta shuddhi, and by that they elevate to take up jnana yoga. Need not take sannyasa, they can remain in grastha ashrama or any whatever the ashrama and follow jnana yoga and gain moksha. So this distinction, this is another confusion possible. In Gita, the Gita shloka itself is said, Lokesmin Dvividha Nishta in third chapter, that can be wrongly interpreted. That is, as though sannyasis have got different yoga to follow for moksha, and other ashramis have got another yoga, karma yoga, to follow for moksha. It is not like that. Lifestyles are different. Whatever may be the lifestyle, for moksha, it's only jnanam. Jnanam is only through jnana yoga. Sannyasis don't have karma, therefore, only jnana yoga. They are prepared. They are prepared, and therefore they take sannyasa and pursue jnana yoga. Whereas other seekers, other mumukshus, not yet prepared completely for jnana yoga, they require chitta shuddhi. Therefore, they perform karma yoga, gain chitta shuddhi, and then take to jnana yoga for what? For gaining moksha. So therefore, this is how Bhagavan Krishna has presented. This is how the Gita or Shloka also has to be interpreted. So this is the vision of the Shastram, and Gita also to be interpreted in keeping with the vision of the Shastram. Otherwise, it will cause confusion, misunderstandings. Therefore, the subject matter of this knowledge is Sankhya, a discriminative presentation of what is real and what is not real. Every step of the unfoldment is based on Viveka, discrimination. For example, the Deha, the body is subject to death, whereas the one who dwells in the body, Dehi, is not, and so on. The discrimination is presented because people usually think that when the Deha is destroyed, the Dehi also is destroyed. When one is not mistaken for the other, there is discrimination, Viveka, and it is this knowledge that has been given with reference to the reality of the Atma. Thus Krishna said, so far whatever I have taught you is with reference to Sankhya, Sankhya Yesha Buddhiki Maya Abhigita Tubhyam. Now Buddhi Yoga. Now Yoga to Imam Shunu iti. What can knowledge do? What does knowledge do? It removes ajnanam, ignorance. Knowledge is a cause for removal of ignorance. It cannot do anything else. Ignorance itself is a problem. It being the cause for false pursuits and sorrow, samsara. To think that heaven will be an answer to all my problems is delusion, moha. Moha is thinking that sorrow can be removed by reaching somewhere or gaining this or that. Knowledge of the reality of Atma alone removes this ajnanam, and therefore it is a direct cause for moksha. Sakshat Karnam. Then what can Karma Yoga do? Is there also an indirect cause for for moksha? The Bhashya says that there is, and that will be taught. That there are two different topics is very clear now. Krishna himself says, Sankhya Buddhihi Abhigita, Yogetu Imam Shunu. This wisdom with reference to self-knowledge has so far been told to you. Now listen to the wisdom of yoga. Shankaracharya deals with this point thoroughly because even in his day there was a great deal of controversy about whether the Gita Shastra talks about karma, jnana, or a synthesis, combination of the two. There were many such notions in one form or the other. Therefore, Bhashyakara spends a considerable amount of time here pointing out the distinction and then saying, now listen to what I am going to say about Karma Yoga. Therefore, Karma Yoga is an indirect cause for moksha. Takes to moksha through jnanam. This is very clear. Any discipline is useful, therefore, because it helps one gain a certain composure, a certain mastery over the opposites, dvandva, as we saw in the preceding verse. Sukha dukkhe samaya krutva labha labho jaya jayo tasmad yuddha yujyasva. That's nevam papam avapsasi we saw. Therefore, all disciplines are called yoga. This composure is necessary for the mind to be able to receive the knowledge. To gain the composure, we require karma yoga. Therefore, karma yoga becomes an indirect means, not a direct means for gaining the knowledge. Should be underlined. You cannot say, I will take karma yoga and you take jnana yoga. We will both reach the same end. That cannot say. It is not like that. If karma yoga is presented as a means for gaining the knowledge that will destroy ignorance, one may ask why the study of Shastra alone cannot do that. The reason is that the study of Shastra is capable of delivering the goods only when the Antakaranam is ready. Therefore, preparing the Antakarana is what is meant by Karma Yoga and is what is going to be discussed here. In praise of Karma Yoga, Krishna praised Karma Yoga, telling Arjuna that it was as important as Jnanam. Karma Yoga is not something less than Jnanam, since without it, Jnanam will not take place. To create certain value for Karma Yoga in Arjuna, Krishna praised it in this way. Krishna told Arjuna that the knowledge of Karma Yoga would enable him to destroy the bondage of karma, karma bandham prahasisi. Therefore, karma here means dharma adharma, which means punya papa, the good and the bad actions that alone bind the individual. Therefore, it is called karma bandha, the bondage of karma. The karma itself is a bondage which is destroyed by knowledge made possible by karma yoga. Now, a question may arise here. That is, knowledge destroys only ignorance, ajnanam. How is the karma destroyed? That is because with the destruction of ajnanam, doership, kartrutvam is destroyed. Therefore, all the kartrutvam destroyed, which causing all the karmas to fall apart. Karma also will get destroyed. Thus, both sannyasa and karma yoga play a role in the destruction of samsara. But the difference between the two must be very clearly understood. Otherwise, it will be said that there are various paths, such as 4 paths advanced by some Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and so many modern yogas are there. It is also incorrect to say that there are as many paths as there are people. There are no many paths, only one path, that is only through Jnana. The problem being Ajnana, the solution is only Jnana. Therefore, addressing this lack of clarity in understanding, Shankaracharya says that because of the grace of Ishvara, you find yourself with a purified mind, the teaching and the teacher. And because of all this, you gain the knowledge. He says, being endowed with this Karma Yoga, Ishvara Prasada Nimitta Jnana Praptehe, by gaining the knowledge by the grace of the Lord, you will get out of the bondage of karma. A life of Karma Yoga prepares the mind and knowledge. A life of Karma Yoga prepares the mind and knowledge releases one from the bondage. But to say here, the Karma Yoga, one is released from bondage, is to praise Karma Yoga, which is the indirect means for moksha. To have the knowledge, you have to understand that I am Brahma. There is no other way. The Lord's grace, Ishvara Prasada, is in the form of the Guru Shastra, the teaching, the type of mind that is required, and conducive circumstances as well. It has been everyone's experience that there can be a number of obstacles in any undertaking. That by the time people come to this teaching, they have met with a lot of obstructions in life and have experienced a lot of pain. This is how they come into the teaching and the obstructions continue. For this undertaking also, then the grace of Ishvara is required. Therefore, thus one has to be prayerful, karma yoga. So therefore, jnanam alone is a necessity. And yes, somebody spends a considerable time here because Shankaracharya elaborates to this. One yoga, two lifestyles. Karma Yoga makes everything possible so that you can gain that knowledge which destroys the bondage of karma. Therefore, karma bandham prahasyasi, iti, Bhagavan said. How many yogas are there for moksha then? Only one. What is that yoga? Knowledge, jnanam. And there are two lifestyles. Karma Yoga, living the life of a Karma Yogi, householder lifestyle, and Sannyasa, living the life of a sannyasi, renunciate. Renunciate. This is the vision of the Veda, the only vision that can account for the entire Shastram. So, therefore, we have choice with regard to lifestyle, living the life of a renunciate or living the life of a householder. This is the vision of the Shastram, the only vision that can account for the entire Shastram. And therefore, Shankaracharya states it very clearly, presenting very well what the Shastra says. Both lifestyles imply knowledge, and that knowledge is moksha. There is no doubt whatsoever here. To gain that knowledge, you require a properly prepared mind, for which you require Bhagavan's grace. Therefore, you invoke the Lord's grace so that you have everything ready for gaining the knowledge. This is the only way to remove samsara bondage. To earn the Lord's grace, Karma Yoga is a means. Ishvara Anugraha, for gaining Ishvara Anugraha, this is a means. So, therefore, Karma Bandham Prahasyasi. Then, before discussing two possible lifestyles, first, Bhagavan praises Karma Yoga. That is the next shloka we will see in this class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः.